I'd like to take you to a street corner. There's a group of youths, boys with baseball caps, leaning against a wall. Music, laughter, and at least once every few minutes, one of them shouts something rude. A lot of people cross the street to avoid this bunch of guys. And most parents warn their teenage offspring to keep away from them. I'm working with the local youth center, and our aim is to create a peer support community for youth. And we had a good start. We already decided it would only work if all youths would feel welcome to join. It had to be a community based on trust. And our group increased and became more and more involved every week. But we had a hard time to keep the street corner gang separate from our new community. We wanted to provide a safe environment, and well, those guys kind of represented the opposite of safe. Until one of our interns decided to speak up. He asked, why do we prevent them from joining? Why don't they deserve a second chance? Okay, we couldn't agree more, obviously. But it wasn't easy finding a way to invite them to join and still keep it safe for the others. Some of them, well, no, it's just not such a nice group. But we had contact, and we were talking to them one day about the youth center, and one of those guys offered to refurbish the youth center during the holiday. This was the worst plan ever. Some of them were suspects in theft and robbery cases. So how could we give him a key and hope that everything would be okay? What if they robbed the whole place empty? But we couldn't reject him either. You either decide to build a community based on trust, or you don't. You can't have it both ways. So we had to take the leap, hope for the best, and give him a key. And after our holiday, everything looked bright and shiny, as if it were new. Sounds like a Hollywood movie, doesn't it? Criminal gang members, now volunteers of the years. All you need is a little faith. Well, it didn't actually turn out this way. Although they did a real nice job upgrading our youth center, most of them are still involved in pretty shady practices. But still, from that day onward, we now know they are more than petty criminals. They turned out to be quite skilled, helpful, friendly even, at least when spending time with us. So I really like to talk to you about how we see people and how that influences our interaction with them. I first realized people are more than the problems they have or the behavior they demonstrate during my internship in France, a long time back. I was working with Dutch kids who, most of them, had pretty messed up lives. They were sent to France to work on their behavior and think about their future. And their files were filled with severe behavioral issues, and their living circumstances were often quite disturbing. But what amazed me was that their files said nothing about their personalities, their talents, or their eagerness to create a better life for themselves. Why was that? So, back in the Netherlands, I couldn't let it go. It was time for action. And we decided to ask the youth themselves what they thought was needed to provide a happy and healthy environment to grow up in, where they wanted to turn to when life was rough on them, and what they wanted to do to improve their lives and the lives of others. And slowly but surely, we created Jimmy's, a peer support community based on trust, where young people can help each other to deal with their problems they have and to develop their talents. When we set up Jimmy's, we discovered pretty soon it would only work if the young people would run the business themselves. And this was quite a challenge, because we had to become a team in which we were all equals. We had to trust each other, share responsibilities. And I have to confess, it was a lot easier for the young people than it was for us. they could it naturally, and for us it was a real new approach in working with young people. But it worked. It worked like a charm. Echt waar hoor. But it isn't a walk in the park either. We noticed it worked even though some of them were convicted thieves or former addicts. And it worked because, well, it was quite simple. It worked because they had ownership of the place. Jimmy's became as much their place as it was ours. They already had access, so why would they steal anything or wreck the place? It's obvious that even a thief won't steal from his own house. But it isn't a walk in the park either. In the real world, we have to and want to work together with the local government, welfare organizations, and youth care. And a lot of the social professionals we encounter find it much harder to really grasp this mindset of trust. The policies, methods, and cultures in the organizations they work in, more often than not, are focused on supervising vulnerable kids, instead of increasing their strengths and creating opportunities. So even though all the professionals we encounter really want to make a positive impact on the lives of the teenagers they want to work with, their own worldview and the system more often than not make it really hard for them to fully see the possibilities all these young kids have to offer. So yes, all the youths who visit us at Jimmy's are special and talented in their own way. And no, most of them don't transform overnight from troublemaker into an angel. But they do learn that there are places they can go to try something new. They do learn that there are places and people who simply assume you have good intentions, that you can be trusted, even if they don't know you at all. And that it's up to them to make choices where and with whom they want to spend their time, and which aspects of themselves they want to improve. The youth at Jimmy's taught me that behavior and reliability is circumstantial, and that trust is a key in creating these circumstances. It isn't always easy to interact fearlessly and full of trust, but I know now it's always worth it. Thank you.